Shalom and welcome to Mitzvah Torah. This year is entitled, What Do I Do with My New Kalim that I bought for Pesach 2020 Tafshin Pei? It's a big question. What do I do with my Kalim? I bought new pots, I bought new silverware, I bought this, I bought that. I never made Pesach at home. I always go wait to my kids. I go to a hotel, I go to a Pesach program. I do all these things. I don't have proper utensils. I bought them for Pesach. But now the mikvahs are closed for the kalim, or the mikvahs are dangerous. What do I do? So poskim grapple with it. Everything is in the halach and the Masorah. Maybe the poskim 100,000 years ago didn't deal with a specific case, but everything is there that we can glean from the poskim, from early sources, and apply to our modern day situation. So there are various approaches brought down. The most shocking is the Rogachover. Rogachover says that just like when you have bread, you can't have bread that's made by your Gentile neighbor next door because pas akum is going to lead to interaction. So that only applies to bread made personally. If it's made by it's industrial bread, big company, millions of employees, and there's no personal connection, that's called pas palter. That's not problematic. He says the same thing by kalim. By new utensils, probably your neighbor makes a vessel, and he says, here, you take it, buy it from me, I'll give it to you. That's a personal connection. But they're made by a company. That's not a problem. That's a very unique idea from the Rogachover, and most do not rely on that Rogachover. And therefore, we don't say, well, this is industrial-made pots and pans and silverware, which everything is today. So there's no problem. I have Tevila Kalim. I don't have to Tofel Kalim to begin with. I never do. We don't rely on that Rogachover. Another approach is when you buy the Kli, don't have in mind to cone it, to make it yours. Meaning I'm paying money for it because they won't let me take it without money. So I'm paying them and I'm physically taking it, but I don't own it. Meaning anyone that feels like taking it, they can take it. It's not mine. And I have no claim against anyone that takes from my car. I bring it to my house, a friend comes to my house and just takes it. It's not mine. And if it's not mine, I don't have to do tefillah. It's another approach I'm supposed to mention. Another approach is if you already bought it and you made it yours, in front of 3 people, maybe even in Zoom, go ahead and do what? Make it hefker. That's it. Say, I declare this is not mine. So once again, all these dishes and utensils are not mine. They don't belong to anyone. And then one last approach is that you sell it. You sell the kalim. You sell it to a Gentile. If you have a neighbor Gentile, you go ahead and give it to him here. This is yours. He picks it up and you explain to him, can I borrow it? Another approach with this same last approach is that you sell it, but how many people have exposure to Gentiles, to anyone these days? We're all inside. That so many other organizations are organized that you could sell your kalim, you write them down, you sell them online. Soma does it for you. You just go to their website and they'll do it for you and they'll sell it to the guys. It's not yours. And just like you sell the chametz, so you sell your pots and pans. Normally, we never sell our pots and pans when we do mechiras chametz, because if we sell pots and pans, we're going to have to do tefillah. So we don't usually sell them, we just sell the bread, the chametz. But over here, your new pans you didn't do tefillah with, well, you're stuck. So you go ahead, you sell to the guy. It's his. It's not yours. You don't own it. You're just borrowing it. And that's all part of the conditions that it's his, but you allow to borrow it. And then you go ahead and you use the kalim. So those are the different approaches that the post could mention. The Rogachover, which I said is not really relied on that. You don't have to feel in the first place on any of these kalim. Number 2, you don't acquire it. When you first pick up, so you never have it in mind to acquire it. 3, you make it hefker. That's it. You know, it's important to anyone. For the 3 people, that's it. And then 4, you go ahead and what? You sell it. And you use it, since you can't really sell to a guy in person these days, not too realistic, then you use one of the online services like Soma and sell the kalim that way. Anyone has any specific questions, talk to that posting about what is the best option in that specific case. Shalom.